Day Dawns ARKS! Welcome everyone to your Phantasy Star podcast recorded live on May 27th, 2025. I'm one of your hosts, PrinceBrightstar, and with me here is Rooks. Go ahead and say hello.
Greetings, everyone.
So, we've got a fairly full show today, with quite a number of topics from around the community, but of course we're always going to start off with what's going on with the headlines since, what can I say, we always like to do a little reaction to those. Apparently we're getting a preview of the summer update, which is a little bit unusual considering, usually, or at least when it came to version 2, I believe that released in June, if I remember correctly. And hey, Wolfric, thanks for tuning in.
Hey, Wolf.
And I should also note, hello to everybody from Twitch as well. You guys are finally joining us once again here on the show, and so now I've got the live chat split between Twitch and YouTube there. So Twitch on the top, YouTube on the bottom. We'll see how things go, but I'm not really expecting any problems here today with this. I've done a bit of testing through Final Fantasy XIV over the past week or so should be good to go at this point here.
Super Batter is asking, did I get a new mic? No, I didn't. I wonder what the difference is.
I'm not sure either. It sounded like you were a little bit deeper today. I don't know. Maybe you've just got your microphone a little bit closer than usual. But yeah, we've got the headline coming up in about 3 minutes here. And then from there, we're going to be talking about Clementine and Affinia's updates. We got news about there being a new English translation available for Phantasy Star Generation 1. The tabletop RPG, of course, they've finally planted a flag in terms of when they're expecting things to finally come out. But we'll see if they're able to hold that date or that time frame. And then there's also an old Yuji Naka interview that's been translated. We're not going to be going through the actual interview, but we'll at least be taking a look at the article from that. So it's definitely a packed show here today, all things considered. But yeah, right now we're just waiting for the headline to kick off, and then we'll kind of get into everything else here as we normally do. We'll be talking about Sega account as well once the headline is over. I've got a few things I wanna say about that, which might help people to understand what Sega's reasonings behind this might be. But it's to be seen in the end with that. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what Sega's got planned, because this is kind of their make or break moment for me regarding New Genesis. I'm kind of at the point now where I'm like, I basically just log in like once a week, try out the new quest, and then that's basically it. From there, I just don't really feel like logging in anymore. And it's real shame that the game has gotten to this point for me.
There just isn't a reason to. I mean, I've been slowly expanding out to other games as well, so it's not really a surprise at this point.
Yep. Like in April, I did my whole thing with Xenogears. That's done, and I'm looking forward to Xenoblade Chronicles, which I'll be starting probably in a few weeks. This week in Final Fantasy XIV, they've got the Occult Crescent, which is the new field op exploration zone, along with the what's called the Forked Tower, Forked, which basically in Final Fantasy V, it was a tower where you had to separate into two teams, one where you only attacked physically and one where you only attacked magically. So we'll see how that content plays out. It looks like they've at least gone live on the headline stream, but they haven't quite started just yet. They usually start like a minute or two early for that. But yeah, at this point now, this really is just sort of make or break for me. I'm still, of course, a big proponent of preservation, and I'll make my intents behind that clear at a later date. But yeah, it's like you said, there's just barely any reason to log into New Genesis at this point here, aside from, doing like a single run and just, But anyway, they're getting started, so here we go.
NGS Headline Wave. Hello everyone! It's time for NGS Headline Wave, the official program of PSO2 New Genesis version 2. I'm Yui Hasegawa, and I'll be your host for this broadcast. I'll be bringing you all the latest info on NGS. Be sure to stay tuned until the end. The Super Origin Festival ends soon. Let's make the most of these last few days. I recently took on Dark Falls solos for the first time in a while, and it was shocking how badly I forgot all its gimmicks. I got wrecked.
Supposedly you can avoid those walls if you take down one of the 4 quadrants first.
Now, once again, this program
I
is
wasn't
to inform
aware of that
players
trick.
about upcoming campaigns and updates for Sega's online RPG, PSO2.
Then again, I barely
Genesis version
touched
2,
the quest, to be
also
honest.
known as NGS. We will also share messages and answers to players' questions from the dev team and provide other game-related info. Tune into this program to learn all you need to know about NGS now and into the future. That's Headline Wave in a nutshell. This is a pre-recorded broadcast. If you would like to watch it in Japanese, you can check it out on the Japanese NGS YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's move on to the updates you've all been waiting for.
I really hope they open up big here.
NGS Hot Information. Before we get into June's update information, check out this video we prepared compiling the
You're
planned
already getting
update
into
content
that?
from June to August.
Okay, so they are talking about the summer update at the start. The Realm of Awakened Fantasies. "13 stars.
Yep.
And hey, Falls Munchin. And there's a Malignant Vial.
Okay, we are getting a new field.
A new field after Realm. Oh yeah, this is brand new. Okay, yeah, that's a big opener.
I'm not that impressed yet. Because they have been misusing a lot of these, they have been reusing a lot of these assets across the board.
How was it?
Well, I'd at least like
Following the
to,
steps of the winter update,
I don't know,
we
at least
created
try to
logo
ride
and
the hype a
title for
little
the
bit
summer
here.
update, the Realm of Awakened
I'm sorry.
Fantasies.
No, it's okay. We've been, honestly, we've been kind of
Keep an
pessimistic
eye
on this
out
show
all
for
the
some time
fantastic
now. That
update content
seeing something
coming
like
to
this
spice
is at
things
least
up this summer.
lifting things up a little bit for me.
And now we will introduce the updates lined up for June. Let's start with a video.
Okay, mini episode?
You might be a few seconds ahead of me.
This ride sure has been pretty hectic. We fought dolls everywhere. Then we battled the Dark Falls Zepheto created. From there, we faced Vile and the Starless.
I was worried about being ahead. Yeah.
But we're still not done fighting. We need to prepare ourselves for whatever might come next.
Did she just say
Just
you
watch
watched
that.
that?
No matter what comes Halpha's way, I'll
Whatever
be
comes
here to
Halpha's way,
protect
that's
it.
what she just said. Shadow of the Fallen Star. Oh, so they're turning Crimson Realm into an urgent quest. Once again, the pixelation you're seeing is coming from Sega streaming. I wish there was something I could do about it, but it's so the Citadel and the Forest has mechanics and enemies that change, I guess, after the first week.
And we have already broken level 100, so that confirms where we're going.
Up to 105, yeah. And level 12-star armor units. Another expansion to the line strike system.
Hey, Falls Majin.
Ship matchmaking support for unranked battles.
This I might actually make use of with Angel. I've been looking for something that didn't look so baby-faced.
Okay. Chat is falling off the screen. Let me fix that. What is this?
Okay, what upcoming Sonic project? Okay, are they really teasing? The way they keep teasing Sonic and PSO2 is making me wonder if my theory about Sonic and PSO2 possibly being part of the same continuity is. Also, these look like something out. These almost look like something out of Kingdom Hearts in their styling.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, you know, typically they do celebrate Sonic's birthday. Now that I think about it in PSO2. The other thing I would say is this reminds me of the Sonic and Tails outfit we got for base PSO2 as well. Although we definitely didn't get the Shadow Wings there.
And think of it, this is probably connected to the Shadow Generations game that came out recently. And now the Sonic characters are part of Line Scratch. line.
Line strike.
Yep.
How was it? Let me go through the details with these slides. Starting with this. We'll kick off the month with the Revival AC Scratch Ticket. Rewind Collection June 2025 on June 1st.
Okay, I need to
This
fix
AC
something, so
scratch
I'm going to
ticket
take Yui
contains
away for
prizes
just
from
a brief
June's
moment,
past.
everyone.
Should I pause?
Nope,
The
we're good.
Scratch Count bonus features motion changes from past Scratch Count bonuses, as well as the triumphant return of the PSO2 spec weapon camo, Randall Nova. Check it out. We will also release a new mini episode on June 4th. With Vile defeated, Halfa experiences a brief moment of respite. This episode depicts the feelings of each of your comrades as they reckon with the past and prepare for the future. You can watch this episode by completing your main tasks, so catch up on them if you haven't already. We will have a new limited time urgent quest, Shadow of the Fallen Star. In this progressive quest, you are tasked with investigating the Crimson Realm, which has suddenly emerged throughout the entire Retem region. Feria has been appointed as the operator to guide you through this quest. The energy readings from here are the strongest detected thus far. Don't let your guard down.
It looks like based on how they have
Limited
things
time
styled
tasks
here,
will also be added along with
they're
this quest.
still saying that this is, with the realm of
Complete the
Awakened
task to
Fantasies,
obtain
they're
rewards
still
such
saying
as
it's
500,000
PSO2 New
N
Genesis
setup,
version
add
2.
preset skill level 1, plus the Urian body
Yep.
and the Bior body cast parts.
Which is really strange considering they've rolled credits at this point.
There will also be a new limited time quest, the Citadel in the Forest. This is a revamped version of the previously released The Fortress in the Forest quest, this time featuring different enemies, enemy levels, and mechanics. Additionally, the field mechanics and enemies in this quest will change on June 11th. If you clear it in the first week of release, try giving it a shot after this date for a fresh experience. There will also be limited time tasks and title tasks for this limited time quest.
Betsugen, I don't know if I'd say that 100% there.
Complete these tasks to earn rewards such as titles, the Haggith hairstyle,
Betsugen,
accessories like metal
I
claw
still
L
don't
and
like
R,
my
and
man.
Smith goggles.
Sorry.
The level cap for all classes will be raised to 105.
Here's
In
the
addition,
8th
the
augment
enhancement
slot.
cap for weapons and armor will be raised to 100. This also means that the number of affixable augments will go up to 8. The new 12-star Rarity Prograde Armor series is also on the way.
Oh yeah, and I guess the 13-star
It boasts a
weapons
plus
thing, I guess that
7%
means the
potency
legend thing
increase for
didn't
your weapon and
amount
high
to
stats
much.
befitting its higher rarity.
Well, they said they were going to bring it in and out.
And we haven't even mentioned the new Ultia Domina augment yet. In order to acquire this augment, you need high Domina augment capsules and Joindia from Quest that will be releasing on June 4th. After taking on various quests and gathering the necessary materials, you can craft your own Ultia Domina at the item lab using augment capsules as exchange enhancement materials. 12 new cards are coming to Line Strike. This 5th wave of cards will include characters from the Goral star system featured in Phantasy Star Universe and Phantasy Star Portable 2. Some of these new cards have serious centerpiece potential for new decks.
That's a nice callback that
Others bring
Magashi
fresh
is a
strategies
copycat.
for existing decks. Be sure to check them all out. Apparently, Vivian, who's one of my faves, has the transform skill. I bet she's really strong. New cards will also be added to the Card Scratch ticket lineup. Additionally, direct exchanges for 4th wave cards and line strike cosmetics, such as card sleeves and playmats featuring Phantasy Star Universe and Phantasy Star Portable 2 box art, will be added to Card Recycle. A new starter deck focusing on 5th wave cards will also be added to the AC shop. This new beginner-friendly starter deck focuses on using the buff support skill to boost the values of buff ally skills and protecting buff characters using barriers.
I just realized behind
Be sure to check it out.
Vivienne there is one of the Lunga,
Following this update, unranked battles will
one of the
support all
writable
ship
creatures
classes.
in universe.
Many new rivals await you.
I wonder how many
Engage
people
in
actually
fierce
remember
battles
those.
that transcend ships.
Yeah, I'm surprised to even see it.
Next up is the new face option, Animatic Face. Like the already released Animatica Face, this face option lets you enjoy anime-like expressions. The new Animatic Face is geared towards creating characters with a cool, mature vibe. You'll also be able to toggle big canine teeth on and off. So pick your preference from the face option ornaments display settings in the salon. Along with this new face option, we're also holding a Use the Salon to Your Heart's Content campaign. So give it a spin and see all the cool things you can do with Animatic's Face. To celebrate the release of Animatic's Face, we're holding a Slay to Slay campaign. Play eligible limited time quests to get cast parts and special edition outfits. We'll also be running pre-announced urgent quests, so don't miss out on your chance to pick up some amazing outfits. Oh, they have hairstyles and head parts too!
Not sure if
Moving
we've seen
on,
those
I'd like to
cast
highlight
parts
various
before. I think we
functionality
have.
improvements and new gameplay elements.
We have.
First, we'll be adding the ability to display item trader shops by category. As the number of shops has increased, it has become harder to find the shop you're looking for. This should solve the issue and maintain ease in future updates. You'll still be able to use all the features we previously added, like being able to show or hide the new icon for items. So be sure to combine these with the new category display option when you visit an item trader. Next, we'll be expanding the wanted item list in a big way. In addition to giving you more space on your list, we're also adding a new way to check the items on it via the main menu under Personal. On certain screens, a special icon will be displayed for items registered in your list, letting you see what's on your wanted item list without opening it. You'll also be able to register EX augments to your list and set up to 3 combos. Plus, as a drop-related improvement, when you receive an item on your wanted item list, or one of your featured item drops, a special drop animation will play. This will make it easy to know when a drop is an item you've had your eye on. We'll also be adding a function for easy photo mode that lets you see the numerical values for the angle of view, the angle, and more.
That animation could be kind of
by
useful
going into the camera settings and selecting camera setting values, then display.
if you're trying to hunt down something specific.
Yep.
Use it to show the angle of view for the screenshots you take. We're also dropping in some new stuff for creative space. Check out the weapon camo Aura Deluxe and more from the Aura series, plus curry rice, silver
So we're
tray,
still
and
getting
standing
rehashed
lantern build
camos. And they're just adding
parts. So why
in
not use them
random
to give your creative and alliance spaces
weapons
a fresh
as
look?
career space parts.
Yep.
In addition, we'll be adding a reward details screen where you can see details for quest rewards and featured item drops. You'll be able to see base abilities for weapons and armor, augment capsule categories, and more, making it easy to check out any rewards that catch your eye.
Doesn't really fix the problem where you're sending everybody
You
into
can
the same
display
quest to
reward
find the
details
items they
screen
need.
by selecting the drop item on the title bar of the
Yep.
quest details
Still the same problems.
or by entering the assigned key or button. What's more, tasks in the limited time tab of the task list will be
My
sorted by
feeling
category.
is their thinking is that there's so few players right now that they have to make sure everyone is on
This
the
change
same
will give priority to
same
tasks
page
with
so
shorter
that
deadlines.
so that the new quests aren't
Be
on
sure to
the
check back regularly, as some limited
Alright,
time
forgot
tasks
it.
have valuable rewards.
That's
Auto-sell
honestly,
settings
if
will
that's
soon
what's going
also
on,
let you
that's a
sell 10 to
weak
13
excuse
star
for
rarity
not
weapons and 11 to
distributing
12
things
star
out to
rarity armor.
to the older areas,
In addition, tabs for
or
weapons,
at least
armor,
updating
and other items
the
will be
active
added,
urgent
and
quests.
adjustments will be made to make it easier to see what you've set. Be sure to check these out when you use auto-sell. We will also be adding a search by series function for weapons and armor to the series search function in the
Because
personal
the
shop.
main problem is by the end of the week, you're sick of whatever the
To
current
search for the
limited
series,
time
just add a
quest is.
question mark after the weapon or armor name.
Yep.
This is an easy way to find
I
all
said
the
it before,
items
but
from
you
the same
basically
series in
need
one
multiple
go.
things that the players can bounce around
It's really
to
helpful when
bounce
searching
around
for
between
materials
so
or
that they
preset
feel
skills, so be sure to
that
try it out.
they have something new to work with.
Yep.
To celebrate Sonic's birthday on June 23rd, we're holding a special
I like going back to the
starting
the example of the Austere series, back in base PSO2, where you needed to do like a whole bunch of stuff.
Log
Urgent
into the
quests, you
game for
needed
exclusive
to
rewards
take
that
out
include
various
fan-style build
humanoid
parts
Dark
featuring
Falls,
Sonic,
you
Tails,
needed to do
Dr. Eggman,
advanced
Knuckles,
quests,
Amy, and Shadow.
and a whole bunch of other
As well
stuff
as
to get the
special
stuff you
scratch
needed to
tickets,
to
SG,
produce
and
the
GP.
weapon that you were trying to build.
Speeding through is the AC scratch ticket, Sonic Style Heroines, which features a collection of Sonic, Shadow, and Tails themed outfits for Aina, Manon, and Nadara. But that's not all. There will also be a motion change item to be based on Shadow's Doom Wing, as well as stamps, build parts, and more. Plus, new hairstyles for Aina, Manon, and Nadara too, so this one ticket you don't want to miss. Amazing! A collab exclusive look for these three. Manon is
As if
so
we need
cool.
any more confirmation that the devs are in love with Manon.
That is all for the updates for
Yep.
June 4th.
They still have yet to do another
Now let's take a
player
look at the updates starting
player
June
vote.
11th, starting with this video.
Alright, here's the second half of the month. And that sounds like that might be Vile. So probably 5 incapacitations will kick you out. They do give you a week to level up and get things augmented. Huh, that's an interesting potential. Did I just see somebody using a car door as a shield?
You know, that makes me think of the first Captain America movie.
Wait, I missed what you said there, sorry.
Oh, using the car door as a shield just reminds me of the first Captain America movie.
Oh, okay, gotcha. got new cast parts at least. A lot of motions with kunai weapons. Okay, and then we got Sonic stuff coming up here.
Bring back one of the favorite limited time quests again.
Yep. Oh hey, they're actually bringing in the old Sonic suits again. The one I was talking about from the before back in base PSO2.
Return of... You remember one of the jokes that people used to say? One of the most audacious things you could see in Phantasy Star Online 2 was basically an entire team of ARKS taking on Dark Falls in bath towels.
Yeah, but I mean, it's more than that. I mean, keep in mind, base PSO2 had it not with bath towels, but just with bubbles. I'm pretty sure I've still got that in my collection somewhere. And something that a lot of people forget about this game, I think, is the fact that it is a mature-rated game. And that's before, you know, the ESRB does their thing with online interactions and such. Or rather, they don't do anything with online interactions. It's just purely the content in the game that they rate. And it's already mature.
How was it? Let me go through the details with these slides. Starting with this. June 10th brings a new high difficulty quest, the Major Target Suppression Mission, and the stars crashed. The malignant Dark Falls Vial appearing in this quest is the most powerful enemy ever seen in Halpha, significantly stronger than the Dark Falls Vial from the Urgent Quest and the Stars Fell, with attacks that hit like a freight train. As in previous major target suppression missions, up to 4 players can participate, and you will
Sure,
fail the
the
quest
pattern on
after
the
a set
sword
number of
there.
incapacitations. Gear up and take down this threat with your friends. You can snag a new 13-star rarity Crest series weapon as a quest reward.
What's the drop rate on it?
The Crest series features a potential with an effect that
That's
raises
what I'm
potency
thinking. If
and
it's too
reduces
low,
PvP
people are going to
consumption when
completely
attacking
ignore
an
the
enemy.
quest after the first week.
The effect disappears after a certain amount of damage is taken,
Like, it'd be nice if, like,
but it
on
can
the
be
first
regained after a certain
completion,
amount of time,
you
or
get, like,
by
a ticket
inflicting
that
a
just
certain
lets you
amount of
trade
damage.
for one of the weapons. And then, to
A
multi,
title
you
task
have
will also
to
be added along with this
actually
high
get the
difficulty
drop.
quest.
That
Completing the
would
task
actually
will net
get
you
me
a
in there
title and an N Master
trying
Key.
until a success.
Yep. Because then you could also, you know,
Mission
the other
Pass
option
NGS
becomes
Season
you use
45
the,
is also on the way.
what is it, the SG item, I think, to multi as well.
In addition to the new accessories Lightning Glow Izaneshi, Front Door Shield, and Leopard Mask, a color variant of the motion change item dash, Riding a Drone, will also be available. Don't miss it.
Also, I'm surprised that
As
we're
before,
seeing
there will also be stamps,
items
accessories,
for,
and other
for
valuable
Independence
items
Day
such
here
as
in
personal
the
shop
US.
use, 3 days, and SG scratch ticket.
Well, they had
Price
the
lists included
assets.
in the lineup.
They had the assets in the files for a while, so I
If
actually
you like the
appreciate
retro
it.
look, change up your creative space vibe with new build parts, including Steampunk Bed C and Steampunk Table C. These new build parts add a welcome twist to any creative or alliance space. Next is the AC Scratch Ticket Quaint Ensemble 2025. This ticket features cast parts inspired by armor and kimonos, plus casual traditional attire and chic Japanese-style outfits. As part
You
of
know
the
what that
Scratch Count
cast
bonus,
outfit reminds me of?
alternate versions of motion change
Ronin
items
Warriors.
included in the Scratch Ticket prizes, specifically the Shinobi 2 EX, Dash, and Idle motions,
know if
will be
anybody
available.
remembers
I can
that
see it,
show.
but it's a
Check
little bit.
these out as well.
Say again?
I never watched it, but I remember seeing
Starting
it because
June
they
18th,
weren't they
the limited
because
time
there
quests.
was a
Special
I
training,
do
Fog
remember
Sprint, and
seeing
special training Shadow
advertisements
Sprint
for
will alternate daily in celebration of
Warriors.
Sonic's birthday.
Sorry, but it
These
seems
quests are
like that
blasts from the
armor
past,
is a
but with
lot
a twist,
more
featuring new enemies
extravagant
and enemy
than what
levels.
the Roman Warriors had.
Dash
Wasn't
through
it?
Halpha, gathering rings
don't
and
know.
chaos
I'd have to
emeralds
look
and
again.
racking up as many quest points as you can. The more chaos emeralds and quest points you collect, the stronger you'll become. So aim for maximum upgrades to take on the boss enemy at the end. The background music for special training, Shadow Sprint, has also been updated, so enjoy the fresh soundtrack while you play. There will also be a special scratch called the Sonic Collab SG Scratch.
Tribazite. It's basically a
This
version of
scratch ticket
SteamOS
features previously
without.
released Sonic-themed items.
It's basically a version of, basically a scrap together version
You can
similar to
earn Sonic Collab
SteamOS
SV
with
scratch
almost all the
tickets as
same
rewards
features.
from limited time quests, so tackle as many as you can.
And it is compatible with
Furthermore,
NVIDIA.
limited time tasks and title tasks will also be added for these limited time quests. Complete these tasks to get titles, the hairstyle side fringe off-center perm, accessories like arm wrap red and giant T sword unit, and more. In addition, Sonic and friends will be making a return to Central City this year with themed objects to celebrate his birthday. We invite all ARKs to come join the party. Next up, we have 2 Revival AC scratch tickets for you. First, the Sega All-Star Revival is a scratch ticket featuring PSO2 spec items that allow you to recreate popular Sega characters. Your first draw is free.
I hate to say
So
this,
be
but
sure to
does
log in
anyone
during the
actually
sales period
use
to claim your items.
classic PSO stuff anymore?
We also have Face Fashion Revival, featuring accessories for face area customization, along with
I mean,
previously
I was still
released
using my
NGS
old,
spec eyes,
cast
makeup
set
patterns,
until-
eyebrows, and eyelashes.
Maybe like a year or so ago? When did the Dino Rex stuff come out?
Enjoy character creation by combining these with a newly added animatics face. On the June 21st PSO2 day, you can get your mitts on the Revival AC scratch ticket PSO2 Memories June 2025. This scratch ticket is a collection of PSO2 spec items released in the past. Get a prize slip every 15 draws through the scratch count bonus, and check out the emote Rappy Balloon that's also making its return. PSO2 Memories will continue to arrive on the PSO2 day on the 21st of each month. The lineup will change each time, so keep your eyes peeled. The AC Scratch Ticket Luxury Bath Time will be available from June 24th. In addition to luxurious outfits like bathrobes and baby dolls, you can also obtain bath towel-style outfits that are perfect for bath time.
Actually, with this AC scratch coming out, I might actually bring out that
Check out the
that bubble look
for
again.
alternate versions of the direct flight, dash, and glide motion change items included in the scratch ticket prizes. That concludes the update information for today. Moving on to the next segment. NGS Operation Report. In this segment, the NGS Operation Report, I will share answers from the development and live ops teams in response to player questions and comments. I'd like to start by reading the letter from the developers. Allow me to read it to you. We would like to thank all the ARKs out there for continuing to play NGS. This time we will share the intentions behind the updates introduced in this program, as well as the purpose and details of upcoming updates in the form of a letter from the developers. The first bit of news we have for you is the summer update, The Realm of Awakened Fantasies. This update brings an intense battle against Malignant Dark Falls Vial in June, the introduction of new 13-star rarity weapons, and a new story. In July, a new field called the Altar Realm and battles with new enemies await.
So July is when it's releasing. Got it.
In August, we'll have updates for the Waker class and the Super Fantasy Festival, along with a variety of other content. Our summer update, The Realm of Awakened Fantasies, also has a lot of other updates we couldn't fit in the trailer, so be sure to visit Halfa when it drops. Next up is the new mini-episode set for release.
So is this going to last more than 15 minutes?
This mini-episode features a story
I
that
won't be
conveys
surprised
the
if it
feelings
lasts
of the
more than
ARKs after
10.
their
Basically,
battle with Dark Falls
sounds
Vial.
like it's going to be a...
Up to now, most mini-episodes have progressed through event scenes alone. But starting this time, we've prepared episodes where the story progresses by completing tasks related to the narrative,
Okay, good.
allowing you to connect more deeply with the
Right,
story.
they don't mess this up.
We plan to release future mini-episodes in this new format, so we hope you'll enjoy them.
I still have a bad feeling it's going to be a lot of characters just standing around and talking at us again.
I will introduce the limited time urgent
Yep.
quest.
And if
Shadow
they're
of the
talking
Fallen
about
Star.
things like this, then it means that they're not ending
This urgent
service
quest
yet.
involves the protagonist deploying in response to an unknown enemy that has appeared in Halfa. This is a story where you can enjoy resolving a new crisis that has emerged after the battle with Vial. To allow players to get a preview of the new enemies and the atmosphere
Hey,
that is
Windsock!
scheduled for release in July, we
For those
decided
that
to
don't
release
know,
it as an urgent
Windsock
quest
was
accompanied
one
by
of the
a story.
original hosts of Dawns ARKS.
Lastly, let me tell you
Hey,
about the
Windsock.
13-star Crest series weapons. The Crest series will be introduced as the first 13-star weapons to make it clear they surpass the performance of the 12-star weapons from the Acrocelio series and the Legend 1 weapons from the Legendio series. As a new rarity, these weapons not only boast top-class attack performance, but also feature a unique effect that increases potency and reduces PP consumption when attacking enemies.
Glad to see you're enjoying it there. Yeah, Blue Burst is always
You can try to get these
always a good
weapons by
time.
defeating Malignant
And,
Darkfall's Vial,
yeah,
which you can take on at any time.
now that
Enjoy the
now that
battle
I'm
against this
got
formidable
my
foe
better
while
connection,
striving to acquire them.
I'm able to stream to both YouTube and Twitch at the same time.
That's all for the letter from the developers. We'll be introducing our roadmap for the second half of 2025 in the next Headline Wave, so be sure to tune in for that. Thank you for continuing to play NGS. That was a letter from the developers. Continuing on to the next section, I have answers to players' questions and comments from the development and live operations teams. Here's the first one. I appreciate the balance changes made to Braver in April, but the effect that visualizes the counter window for Fearless Attitude feels like it's harder to see now. Could you fix it? Here is their response. We've received many comments from players that Fearless Attitude's visual effect has become harder to see.
That feels like a real comment.
In response to these comments, we've readjusted the effect using the
does.
barrier type visual it had previously as a base. The new effect will retain its quality of partially applying the weapon's photon color while also being more visible overall. Issues related to poor visibility based on photon color and the ending of the counter window being unclear will also be fixed.
I can see that's definitely being an improvement.
Oh yeah.
The visual effect changes will be implemented with the update on June 4th. So please sit tight until then. That was their answer. Let's move on to the next question.
Nice to include the visual on that as well.
After defeating Captain, there's a long pause before you receive drop items. You might be onto something. Here is their response. We will make the drop items arrive faster after defeating Captain. That was their answer. Let's move on to the next question. Could you make it so the gunner's chain boost doesn't expire when boarding Mars? Here is their response. We've received numerous comments about chain boosts not persisting when using Mars. In response, we're working on adjusting chain boosts such that the effect reapplies after disengaging special armaments like Mars if it was active before the armament was boarded.
Isn't this like a problem that would have existed for like a year now?
Chain boost's remaining time will also not decrease while the special armament is active. Deliberating how to address these requests took a considerable amount of time. We apologize for keeping you all waiting.
All as far as I know,
This change is planned to be included
as far as I
in the
know,
August
almost
update,
no
so please sit
one on
tight
the
just a
team
bit
actually
longer.
actively plays the game anymore. So,
That
and
was
then
their
there's
answer.
also the
That's all for our Q&A
bureaucracy you
today.
have to work through with over at that place.
Moving forward, we will continue to bring your questions and feedback to the development and operations teams and share their answers with you.
Maybe I may can take up to six
Please
months
share your thoughts
for
and
new
opinions about this
content
program and the
and
game
changes
on
to
X
be
and
to
other
work through the
social media
pipeline.
using the same hashtag as
True.
the previous headline series, hashtag NGS Headline. Moving on to the next segment. NGS Satellite Information. Now let's move on from updates and talk about some other NGS-related info. I'm sure it will get you even more hyped to play the game. Let's start with this. Starting on May 21st,
Oh look, they're doing
you can now
something
link
for
your
us.
Sega account to NGS.
Yep.
Sega Account is a new service designed to make accessing Sega Group content more convenient. By linking your Sega account, you'll gain access to various services including the latest game updates and info on deals and campaigns. As a bonus for linking an account to NGS, you can receive fabulous gifts including an exclusive emote, 400 SG, and SP Select tickets. Check out the online manual on the official website for linking instructions. The Sonic Super Festa will kick off on June 10th to commemorate Sonic's 34th anniversary. We'll start things off with a week-long rare drop rate plus 100% boost. On Sonic's birthday, June 23rd, the rare drop rate boost will increase to plus 240%.
It has
Combined
been
with
one of the
PSO2 day
biggest
boost,
reasons
the
for
total
people
boost will
dropping
reach an
off, I
incredible
think.
plus 340%.
Yeah, definitely. Totally agree
Players
there.
with an active premium set can enjoy an even bigger boost, so make the most of this special occasion. You can grab previously released Sonic-themed items in the Sonic Collab SP Scratch. And keep an eye out for the Sonic's Birthday 2025 keyword gift giveaway. Starting on Sonic's birthday, players who type Sonic_34th_Aniv dot in-game will receive 34 Sonic Collab SP Scratch tickets. Let's all come together to wish Sonic a super special 34th anniversary. We're excited to announce
we'll
a
have to see
collaboration
what
between
ends up
NGS
happening
and
in the
Kotobukiya's
future.
Arcanadia plastic model series. The collab is scheduled to start in July 2025. More details will be announced in our next broadcast. Allow me to briefly introduce the Arcanadia series. Arcanadia is an original plastic model series by Kotobukiya featuring a sci-fi cross with fantasy theme. The series has surpassed 300,000 sales worldwide. The main character designer is the popular illustrator Nekomi. Owing to its delicate designs, which are unlike anything found in conventional plastic models, as well as its exceptional sculpting quality, the series has become a sensation not only in Japan but all over the world. Also, a TV anime adaptation of the series was announced in December of last year. I'd like to introduce the winners of the NGS Headline Wave Together campaign announced in the previous broadcast. We'll be showcasing 3 screenshots this time. Let's kick it off with this one. Here's a comment from the poster El Blanche. I'll never see this again, so I guess this is my best screenshot. LOL! Those malevolent great rappies were a real surprise. Who knew those cute fluff balls could be such menaces? Here's our next winner. Here is a comment from the poster Shirogane. This is my best screenshot, taken on the day the official NGS VTuber Popona graduated. It's from my friend's creative space, taken with my Popona-loving friends and Yui Hasegawa. I wanted to see Popona off on her graduation day along with everyone else, so I logged into my Ship 6 sub-character Homare-kun. I'm the one in the middle towards the bottom with green
Japanese
hair.
players have up to 10 ships that they can play
I'm honored to have
on.
been a part of this special moment in Popona history. Let's see our last winner. Here's a comment from the poster Popolfia. Shadow puppetry. This is a screenshot I took long ago with someone I once played and chatted with until the sun went down. I hope I get the chance to say welcome back if I ever see them again. I could only get a shot like this at this specific point in time, so I decided it was my best screenshot. I wonder how all the ARKs who taught me the ropes when I started PSO2 are doing now.
I hate to say this, they're probably not playing anymore.
This incredible
Yeah,
screenshot
good
brings
chance
back
of that,
so many
unfortunately.
memories. Nostalgic doesn't even begin to describe it.
And they
those
said
are
a
the
while
winners for this
ago that
episode.
they're just keeping their
Thank you for
who they
all
currently
your
have.
submissions.
They're at least hanging on to them,
That's all
but
for the
they're not really
satellite
bringing
information.
anybody new in.
Next, we have our regular mini segment where we highlight something NGS related, such as concept art, in-game songs,
Oh yes, I'm
This
looking
time,
forward
we'd
to
like
Starlight
highlight
as well.
The commemorative visuals for NGS's 3.5 and 4th anniversaries. Let's start with a dev comment on the 3.5-year anniversary illustration. Since Great Rappy is the star of the show during the Super Genesis Festival, we thought a fun event where players could earn Meseta by battling a Great Rappy would be a big hit. Also, when you're actually fighting a Great Rappy, it feels less like a stressful boss fight and more like a fun little event. We wanted the illustration to capture the lighthearted vibe, so it features the Slayer and a Great Rappy frolicking in a whirlwind of Meseta. While making rough drafts, I noticed many of my drawings of the Slayer were angled with her hip towards the viewer. I think this was probably my personal taste unconsciously influencing my work, since I think the hip joints are the most charming feature of cast girls. I hope this illustration successfully captured both the Slayer's charm and the Great Rappy's fun vibe. Next, we have a dev comment on the 4th anniversary illustration. When I heard I'd be drawing maids for the 4th anniversary Super Origin Festival, I felt more excited than I had for any previous anniversary illustration. The word maid briefly called cute ideas to mind. But with these two, imagining them say, "Welcome home, master," in their expressionless monotone felt like it would leave a deeper impression, so instead of going the cute route, I aimed to capture a cool, stoic maid vibe. I wanted to capture the fun anniversary atmosphere too, and got really particular about making the
They're
Rappy
definitely
Omurice
making
look
progress
yummy.
on it, but I would say they're probably not going to bring it out for some time
I'll be
until,
honest, though,
like,
I also have
they
an ulterior
announce, like, the
motive.
closure of the
I'm
official
hoping that this
PSO2
will
side of
inspire
things.
them to recreate the Rappy Omurice at an offline event someday. The Super Origin Festival is over soon, but I hope you enjoy everything the event has to offer until the very end, including this illustration. What did you think? We will discuss other concept art and songs in the coming episodes, so please look forward to it. That's all for this episode of NGS Headline Wave. The Sonic collab heroines are way too cute. I can't wait for the new field to be added and to hear about the new scratch tickets. This broadcast strives to make NGS even better by collecting audience input. Please share your thoughts and feedback on this program and the game by using the same hashtag as previous broadcasts. Hashtag NGS Headline on X. Together, we can make NGS an even more fantastic game.
It was more than a few years after PSU closed in Japan, I
As
think,
the
that they
MC, I
started
will continue
Clementine.
to share info on the updates coming to NGS soon, and work with everyone to make NGS a more enjoyable game for all of you. Thank you for continuing to enjoy NGS. The next episode of NGS Headline Wave will be released on Tuesday, June 24th. It'll focus on updates coming in July. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
We'll have to see, Betsujin.
Now then, ARKS, I'll see you in the next NGS Headline Wave. Bye-bye.
One of my worries is that it's not going to be an open field. It's going to be something very similar to the Nameless City, where you're basically stuck, where you're basically doing what you've been doing in the battle sectors again, but on a time limit.
Yeah, we'll have to see. They could, like, position it like, if you don't want to get, like, some sort of poisoning or something, you have to leave after 15 minutes. I could certainly see them doing something like that, unfortunately. So, we'll get more detail on it next month, I'm sure, when the time comes. It doesn't look like there was much extra on the Japanese side. Just a little thing about web money, it looks like, and that was it. Or actually, BitCash, not web money. I'm sorry. All right. Well, with that, let's go ahead and move on to the next portion of things here, where there were a couple of updates that happened in New Genesis that we wanted to cover. So let me bring that up here. Here we go. All right. And so for Line Strike, the passive skill Explosion activates even when the line has already been won or lost. They confirmed a line strike bug where that was happening and are working towards a fix. Looks like they have that fix scheduled for June the 3rd. Moving on from that, there is a price change in some of the regions, specifically in Argentina and Turkey. So if you're in those regions, just make sure to pay attention to that detail. Enhance and add preset skill boosts are not applied to some series. And it looks like back in May they sent last week they sent out a compensation for this year, where you need to meet eligibility for this year. That being players who failed to enhance or add preset skills on the affected series between April the 30th and May the 6th. For those, they got 20 star gems, a preset skill enhanced success rate plus 30%, and a preset skill item protection level 4.
Honestly, couldn't they just have given them 100% just to make up for the fact that they screwed things up for the player there?
That's a good point. I'm not sure why they wouldn't send out a 100% success rate. Yeah, that doesn't. Especially if it had actually connected, and now the new item is not going to give it to them. Okay, and then moving on from that, they did speak briefly about linking a Sega account, whereby you're able to get a couple of emotes, as well as some star gems, 10 of the Big Bang Scratch ticket silvers, a special select ticket, salon free passes, 3 of those, 3 of the N colored change passes, 100 of the Endemio capsules, and 500 of the card scratch vouchers. Now, I've seen that there are a couple of I've seen a couple of comments regarding this here, in that there is some concern that this whole thing might be about moderation in New Genesis. And, you know, given what's happened, what some of the outfits and some of the happenings that happen in Central City are, I can kind of see that angle of that for certain. And it definitely would give Sega the details of their players, making it easier to track down troublemakers if that's the case. But at the same time, there's another way that we can look at this whole thing. And it could be that they're simply looking for a way to make it so that they don't have to go through companies like Valve or Epic anymore. To be specific, in Japan, you can download PSO2 directly from Sega and then log in using a Sega ID. Doing something like this would allow Sega to sell AC or its equivalent for whatever the next Phantasy Star ends up being whenever that happens. Letting them sell that directly to the players without having companies like Valve, Epic, or Microsoft taking a cut of the profits. So I could certainly see that being one of the reasons why they're also trying to do this as well here.
Well, here's the thing. The Sega account doesn't require a password. I did a Sega account, or I did a Sega setup account. All they need is an email, and you need to have access to that email to log in. Basically, all it does is send you activation code when you log in, and when you link it, it's basically, I think, more for advertising purposes than anything else, really.
Gotcha. So not even 2-factor, just 1-factor. You need access to the email.
Yep.
And Xance isn't here. But yeah, I can certainly see that angle of it as well here. So, yeah, if that's all that they're really doing, then yeah, I guess we'll just have to see what ends up actually happening with it, if it goes any further than this. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to add about Sega account?
So I don't think there's anything to worry about. But then again, at this point, how much of a loss would it really be to have your kid? I don't think it's that much for moderation, honestly. I think it is basically they're trying to replace the. You remember how when when NGS started out, they had to sign up for a newsletter, and that was supposed to give you promotional items.
Yep.
I think this is supposed to replace that, honestly.
Gotcha. Okay, so instead of putting in the key that came with those emails, it's just, I guess, directly into the game instead now.
I suspect, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see what ends up happening with this, I guess, then. Okay, that's what we got for New Genesis today. Let's move on to news from elsewhere in the Phantasy Star community, starting off with Clementine. So, back in late April, just a couple of days after our last show, they rolled out a new patch in April. Let's take a quick look at that. So, that was the end of the Easter egg event. And that gave players access to several boosts that lasted for 2 weeks, along with a couple of new, several new ultimate missions here: Fallen Divinity, Visitor's Memory, Sunken Shrine, Hailstorm Jungle, Eastern Peril, and the Holy Ground. And they also updated the ultimate lobbies look. And then following that, they put out a roadmap for what they're planning for the rest of 2025. So looking at that briefly here, so they wanted to add in /U plus weapon synthing, or rather make an update to it. So they were basically swapping out the /U weapon material for the new Ulti Photon, and then also removing the Awakening type there, and then instead going to the Vanalian, Renite, and etc., depending upon the weapon type. And then the shops would be renamed from the Synthing /U plus weapons to Awakening /U weapons. And then they're going to have a GAM update. GAMs will be adjusted to be on the same level as Ultimate missions. Rewards will be increased accordingly. Enemy drops will be updated to Ult tier, and clear rewards would be updated. Anguished Ultimate missions would make a return as a daily rotation on Ultimate missions. For those, you would challenge stronger enemies for greatly boosted clear box rewards. For the level up mission, boosted missions for players to level up faster for rank C to S4. Different missions will be available each rank to avoid too much repetition while leveling. And those are currently up on the test server. And then for the planned events coming up, right now they're running the Maximum Attack Y event. They have a milestone event coming in June, a mini event coming in August. In October is going to be the Clemiversary event. And then in December there's going to be a milestone event as well. And then we start to roll into the May updates here, including Maximum Attack Y. So for that rollout, we'll get to the Maximum Attack Y in just a moment here. But they made some balance adjustments. Guide techniques increased. They increased the limit break damage for guide techniques from 1.1 to 1.15. And then Master Force and Wartecker 1.1 guide tech damage buff when they unlock the hit restriction release. Ikik, they relaxed the hit stop. Actually, they relaxed the hit stop on a whole bunch of stuff here. Bagazuba, Renkai Byozan, Renga Chujinsho, Soga Choseka, and for Blade Destruction, the combo 3-hit angle increased to 360, and for Angareta, the combo 3-hit angle increased to 360 as well. And then back on May 11th, they also rolled out those Synthing /U plus updates. For Maximum Attack Y, there are 2 target missions here. Crisis in the Void is available for all players rank C to Ultimate. And then Eternal Abyss is specific for Ultimate players. So that's it for Clementine. Let's move on to Affinia now. Back on May the 17th, they had server maintenance. With this, they disabled the ability to sell rare tool items to the shop. This includes Photon Drops, Photon Sphere, Photon Crystal, and Photon Hordes. They improved how /lobby works when a quest is not loaded. Thanks to Fuzzicur Software of NewServe for the idea behind this elegant patch. Improving the analog camera's Y positioning when it collides with the map geometry. This should fix that small drop when the camera collides with a wall that's too close to the player. They added options to the launcher for setting keys to control the analog camera. Support is limited to alphanumeric keys, a few special characters, and the 2 shift keys. They added an option to the launcher to disable the rare drop sound effect. They fixed an issue with Show Mob Drop, where it could show the wrong drop for monsters in certain Omnispawn quests, such as August Atrocity. They fixed a targeting issue near the end of the big S-shaped room in Sweep Up Operation number 3. Endless Episode 1 and 2 now support rare monsters. The rare monsters are rolled at the start of each lap. They modified the positioning of the quest board icons inside the quest board menu. This fixes an issue where the 5th quest board icon would be partially cut off. They also fixed an issue that prevented repeating Soul of Steel's main story after completing the true ending. They added the Chronicide trial series of quests to the server under the Extermination category in Episode 1. These quests were created by No Hit and have strict timers that depend on the number of players in the party. If you time out in the quest, all monsters will be frozen, and players can walk around to pick up items before returning to Pioneer 2 through the quest board. These 4 quests are also available in Classic. They also added Lost Sanjim, a quest to the Retrieval category in Episode 1. This quest was created by Esther. This quest was made in response to Spuzz's 2023 Christmas raffle. The quest features Cave 2 and 3, and it's not a traditional Lost-style quest where an item is found after defeating the boss. And the monster counts for the new quest will be added to the wiki soon. Alright, that's it from Affinia. Moving on, we have some news from Phantasy Star Cave today, specifically that there is a new version of the Phantasy Star Generation 1 English translation. It is now version 3, and this version is designed to get more close to what the original translation is supposed to be for from Japanese to English. There are still some liberties taken with it, but for the most part, this is supposed to be more accurate than what was available in version 1 and 2. And I will also note that this was also basically released almost 10 years after version 2 came out, so make of that what you will in terms of the translation. Actually, in the liner notes, they did note that apparently the software to bring in, I guess, the translation wasn't working for a period of time, and that finally got fixed, and that's what allowed them to finally make this version available. So yeah, this is available now. Patches right here on PS Cave, so go ahead and download it and enjoy it at your own leisure. I will more than likely be using this version when I do my playthrough of Generation 1 at some point in the future. There was also another stream by the Skydance Game Studios where they were talking about the upcoming Phantasy Star tabletop RPG, as well as their other products. I didn't have a chance to watch the whole thing through, but a couple of things I did pick up on. One, they are currently targeting mid to late September for the launch of the tabletop RPG. basically they're hoping for late summer at this point. And then the other thing that I picked up on is that they are going to have, they are paying attention to the lore to the point where the Muskats in this tabletop RPG do not have opposable thumbs. So for those of you that know about the Muskats and know what that means, yeah, hopefully nobody gets turned to stone by Medusa.
So far, well, unfortunately, this dashes the hopes of people who want roleplay as Meow from Phantasy Star Online 2, though.
It does. I mean, it's... I don't know. This whole thing is supposed to be based on Phantasy Star 1 to begin with, and their plan was to expand to other games in the series after the initial launch. So, I mean, it's possible that you could... More than likely, you could still create a custom character that would allow you to do that. It's just... at least in the era that's going to be included with the set, they did not exist. The first actual Muscat with opposable thumbs appeared as part of Meow's litter in Phantasy Star: The End of the Millennium. Alright, one last thing here today. We have an article today from Time Extension, whereby an interview from 2000 has been translated by Shmup Translations, or Shmuplations rather, and basically as part of this interview, it came out from Yuji Naka that the 3D dungeons were originally so convincing that they made people feel sick. So, reading through the article here, given that Yuji Naka's star has fallen slightly in recent years thanks to his conviction for insider trading, it's easy to forget that at one time he was one of Sega's most valuable developers. Even before he... Go ahead.
I'll just go and comment. They're not joking about that. Basically, his coding was a dream. Basically made many of Sega's games possible. If you enjoyed how little lag Phantasy Star Online had while playing on through a dial-up connection, you can thank him for that. Basically, the fact that we had as smooth as experience as we did with the original Phantasy Star Online was a lot to his credit.
Yep, definitely, and that's partly what they talk about in the interview here. Continuing on, even before he helped bring Sonic the Hedgehog to the world, Naka's talent for programming had delivered the company with several hits, including the Master System JRPG Phantasy Star. Speaking in a 2000 interview recently translated by Shmuplations, Naka discussed working on the seminal 8-bit role-playing title and addressed the game's groundbreaking first-person dungeons, which offered surprisingly smooth scrolling for 1987. I wanted Phantasy Star to be the first game with smooth 3D dungeons, he says, before adding, I had played Wizardry, you see. I also wanted to make sure that when you turned a corner in the dungeon, the screen didn't abruptly switch, but instead smoothly rotated to the left or right. When I play Phantasy Star today, it still feels smooth, but it's also way too slow for me. The prototype I created actually went a lot faster. You could zoom through those caves like a roller coaster. I remember showing it to people get a load of this, and the response was, I think I'm gonna be sick. And actually, if you play the game on an emulator and you use the speed up function, you can basically get that effect if you wanted to try that out for yourself. Naka says this is the first time he became aware of 3D motion sickness, something that would become more of an issue for certain players when titles like Doom and GoldenEye 007 appeared in the 1990s. As it happens, the solution to this issue was forced upon him by the constraints of cartridge media. That scrolling used up a whopping 3 megabytes of the 4 megabyte available to us. If I'd continued to program like that, there'd have been no room left for the actual game. Ultimately, we ended up using a compression routine. and the data is read from memory and uncompressed in real time as you progress through the dungeon. But doing it that way made it 4 or 5 times slower. You walk at a speed of 4 interrupts. Slow as this was, people no longer got dizzy, so it received high praise. Phantasy Star would spawn several sequels, none of which used the 3D dungeon mechanic. And the 1987 original was recently re-released on Switch as part of the Sega Ages range. And I'll also note in other interviews that have come out, they had a little bit of space left at the end of development, but we know for a fact that they did not put this back in. Instead, they added the picture of the team at the end of the ending sequence before the credits started. So, still, it's interesting to think about what the game could have ended up like back in the day. If you're interested in reading the translation, it's all available up on the Shmuplations website. There was a whole bunch of other stuff in here, not Phantasy Star related, so that's why we're not going through the whole thing here today. But I at least wanted to bring it to people's attention if they were unaware that this had been translated. Alright, and that's everything I have for today. Did you want to add anything, Rooks?
Sadly, I don't have anything Phantasy Star related to add right now, so... But I do have a little bit of advice for people with motion sickness. Something I learned long ago, it's actually a trick that's been amongst Chinese sailors for a while, is that if you have motion sickness, you can take ginger root and it'll help settle your stomach and neutralize the nausea caused by it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. I haven't had a chance to actually try it myself yet, but for a period of time I was definitely having some issues with New Genesis as well. So it's something on my list to try at some point here. Anything else you want to bring up?
Sorry, but that is pretty much it.
Alright, and so that brings us to the end of this episode. On behalf of Rooks and myself, thank you for joining us today. Day has dawned. Have a great day, everyone.
Good day. Have a good rest of your day.